Hello and welcome into the Sorare Data Show. I am Andrew Laird. You can find me as Lairdinho on Sorare. Joined today by psufans2, Sean Newsham, to talk about some champion cards. Sean, how excited are you for champion cards, which will be out in less than 2 days?
I mean, I'm excited for Champion Europe to start again. The actual cards, I guess I'm not as interested about, but that's typically my MO. I would say is I typically am not that excited about new cards. That said, I think we finally have some more information that we can potentially build off of to sort of come to ideas of what we think stuff's going to be going for here in the very near future.
Great. We'll discuss that. I tend not to want to veer off too quickly, but I have to say, are those new glasses?
They are actually new glasses.
I love them.
Thank you. I had them last week.
Oh, I didn't even notice.
They're not new as in I have had them. I definitely had them last week for the show. That was the first time I've had them on a show though. Was last week.
You wore them last week? I didn't even notice.
No.
Oh,
to be fair, I would never have noticed something like that. So,
no,
you didn't mention my facial hair either.
Well, I did a couple of minutes ago when I said your barber was still out.
No, I thought you were going to say it looks fantastic.
It's all working, Sean. Well, way to be. Yeah. Thanks everyone for coming in. Kev Hurd says champion cards are coming and the prices are going to be insane. They certainly might be. Looking for food, not licking for food. And DNP Donkey on the podium. Congratulations to you three. So Juju, what's up? Maddie, what's up? Thanks for coming in. Here we got a question from Bader here. I have this question from in-season card prices are flying. How many what percent of the in-season cards are Sorare pushing in the market before the season starts? Who knows? We actually don't know. And I guess we'll find out when the new season contender card, when the new contender league seasons start this weekend, and we'll see how many there were. I don't know. Mikey Baston, what's up? Scosmo in the house. Douglas Luiz is still showing as an Aston Villa player. I wonder if the minting process will just populate early access cards for anyone on the team database, or if they will manually intervene.
So there was actually a player I actually saw this on, so I can answer. And the answer is they're just going to go with what is the current card. So the card that I noticed was Paulo Bernardo, who signed for Celtic permanently, but he had what?
But he was going from a covered team to a covered team.
Yes.
Douglas Luiz is not.
But his cards are up as Benfica cards.
Yeah, they'll when you open them, reveal them, whatever it is, they'll be Celtic cards. But Douglas Luiz is going to an unminted team.
And time out. Do we know that to be the case?
Yes.
How?
Because that's what they said in the announcement, that when you mint it, it'll be the card that the player plays for. That's why they do it. That's why they're not putting actual teams on these cards yet.
They put the Benfica on the card.
No. They put it on the wrapper.
All right, I'm skeptical here, Laird. I'm skeptical, but
no, they were very clear about that, because if you get a player who then transfers to an unlicensed team, you will never be able to mint to show the card.
Wait, so if hypothetically Douglas Luiz ends up, you just are going to have a condom wrapper forever?
Forever, yes.
That's actually pretty funny.
Yeah, that was the solution.
Isn't the solution just to not mint that player?
I mean, it's a lot of work to track every single transfer from the 370 clubs that they have deals with. So
I don't think it's that hard. I'm going to be honest.
I believe that. Angus, what's up? KB97 champion cards are coming in.
Big Dick Nick.
Stefan, what's up? Olaf, $2,000 limited Rodri incoming. I think that's a little aggressive.
Yeah, that's probably aggressive.
Ian, I keep doing that. So legendary, what's up? Liam, Drake, Hussein, Rasco Masaki, Bertrand Traore. I definitely played you in DFS once. Anyway, something I want to say for a while regarding are we back? I think we're only back if managers like you, meaning us, Sean, are triggered enough to buy in-season cards. A bit off topic, but had to say it. I bought an in-season card yesterday. Empire. I like that. What's up, Rico Mon? And I think.
Are we counting if I attempt to buy cards?
No. Doesn't.
What if I buy cards and not?
Di Maria is being minted and is a free agent right now, which is great.
He literally has a red X, and he's being minted. I saw that. I also saw that. Yeah.
Agent Cooper said, I need some advice. If you have a Saudi-linked player in your gallery right now, do you keep or sell? I have Petrag Rajkovic, and he's halved in value recently. Should I cash in now? I don't think that's a link. I think wasn't that announced?
I don't know, but I have a great take on that. If you have someone that is linked to the Saudi League, you've already waited too long, and you just hold on to the card, most likely. If you have a guy that is gone to the Saudi League, you just have waited too long, and you definitely hold that card. You can maybe sell a card that is being linked if the links are like light, but I just feel like it's better to hold a card than to like who was the. I just think it's better to hold a card typically once the prices have just gone totally to the dumpster. Like if the price has gone to the dumpster, you hold the card. That simple.
Simple as that, yeah.
You're just selling for like what the guy's worth in the Saudi League. So like if he's just rumored and you sell him for pennies, like I'll use Desart as an example because he ended up not going. But like if you did,
what?
I'm gonna use, or he did end up going. Sorry, he did.
I was gonna say, wait, I thought he went.
No, but I'm saying like if you didn't sell Desart and now he's worth pennies, I don't even know what he's worth. I haven't even looked. But like we'll give the example. We'll use our good buddy Keith. So like literal sale price on Desart is like $5 for a rare. Why go sell it? You're literally selling it like he's in the Saudi League. But if he isn't in the Saudi League, this card is worth literally $150 to $200. So like I just don't think it's worth getting $5 for a card that if he like leaves the Saudi League after 1 year is back to $100 to $200 card. Like what are you benefiting from selling that card for $5? Now we'll use our good buddy Keith. So Keith was able to sell the super rare for $400. The super rare now is probably worth like $25. If you can get out of it in that like really thin time frame where it's actually still movable at a reasonable price, go ahead and do it. But once it's in the dumpster, you just live with it and you just hold it till it's not in the dumpster or till death. Because like, yeah, there's multiple facets here. One of which I don't think is going to happen. But like one, if the guy leaves, which like, honestly, it definitely, the vibes I'm getting from the Saudi League are people are like, this sucks ass, but I'll do it for a year or two to get paid shitloads of money. And then I'm going to likely be gone.
So I agree with you. I feel like because it's only been like 1 year, but it took was like two guys to be like, I don't want to do this anymore. And they left and they were fine. And you're just like, that can happen to anyone now.
Yeah. But like I'm saying, like literally, and to be fair, this is normal. I feel like, Laird, if I offered you 10 times your Sorare data salary to move to Antarctica for 2 years, would you do it?
Yeah. Just let me grab my.
Correct. But then you'd probably be like, all right, but I'm doing 2 years. I'm not doing more, right? Like,
right.
You're not going to be in Antarctica for like 6 years. You're like, all right, I'll do 2 because that like is really beneficial. And then I'm out. Like it seems like a lot of guys are like, this sucks ass. I'm going to go get my bag and then get back out. Or even like, it seems like some guys, like, I mean, Jordan Henderson was there for like what, a month? And he's like, I'm good.
It was really
like,
quick.
I'm good, guys. I'm out. So like, it's just like Julian Desart. If you sold him for like, when the rumor started coming, he was like $60, $50, $80. Okay. All right. If you get out then, fine. But like, if you're getting out now, like literally someone sold for $490 today. Why? Don't just hold it, because it's not like this guy's ancient either. Like he could definitely come back. Also, there's a non-zero the Saudi gets covered. Like I think it's pretty unlikely based on the trend of where Sorare seems to be going.
Yeah.
But it's non-zero. It gets covered. Also, a lot of these guys go to better teams in the Saudi League. If you get a Blue X, like that's still 10 to 15 games a year where that guy could be pretty valuable. And honestly, like those games, sometimes when they play in them, they're like elite level cards those weeks and they're really strong. So yeah, so like I just
10
don't.
to 15 from Asian Champions League.
You could. I mean, there's 6 in the group.
Seems like way too many.
Well, all right, like 8 to 10, like 8 to 10.
Yeah.
Like I think it's realistic to get 8 to 10. So, anyways, like I just don't see the benefit of selling for $5 when, like, all right, let's say you have Desart. Let's say you have 50 players exactly like Desart. They all go to the Saudi League. It takes one of those 50 coming back at any point in the next like 3 years to make it worth not selling any of them, because you make that much more. So like I just don't see the point in selling it once everything's totally tanked off.
It's the same reason that it's the same argument of there's no reason to like sell a U23 goalie really cheap.
Correct.
Like the upside is just way too high for it to.
I mean, a good example of that is Robin Rose for NEC. Like this guy like 4 months ago was selling for like $40 or something, and then now he's likely the starting goalie is selling for like 150 or 200.
The goalie
just doesn't make sense to sell someone for cheap.
Right. Going back to the chat here, football betting from Twitch. Thanks for coming in. Looking forward to taking one look at new champ prices and going, maybe in a couple weeks, which I think a lot of people are going to do, while also other people are going to be spending up. The Scosmo said, still on this Douglas Luiz thing, it's just so we're being incredibly slow with updating their database or transfer market. I think it's Opta, actually.
Yeah, it has nothing to do with.
I can't fathom that Sorare are keeping their own database. Bobby said, do we really think champ cards will be way more expensive than Challenger? Because I think it will be pretty close for me. I think you're completely wrong. Yeah, I think they'll be significantly higher, mostly because you can win so much more.
Yeah. Yes.
Sean, this is an interesting question because Angus was asking what your prediction for the 1 of 100 Rodri goes for, which we won't see for 2 months.
So question for you. Does like a Pranksy wait for the 1 of 100, or does he just like plow in and buy the first ones off the market? I actually think he's going to plow in and just buy the first ones off the market. Maybe he'll buy the one as well later, but
I don't think Pranksy cares about special cards for collections. He's like, if I'm buying the whole collection anyway, I'm getting my 5%, and I think he cares about the 5%. And so getting the cards in right away is surely the priority.
Yeah, I think so too. I mean, based on what I've seen with what he did for the Jupiler League, I think that's very likely the case.
Yep.
Which we'll use that as an example of like how things can go in the Jupiler League. And I mean, I think there's lots of examples for the Jupiler League that we can like use and sort of extract. So back to the point. So do we want to, all right, what will the first Rodri go for? Laird, why don't you give your opinion first?
Yeah, Halogen was asking, does Rodri 450 euro limited sound right? The current one, 127, so 3x that?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, I think the first, like the 2 of 100 goes for more. Like I think it breaks 500.
Yeah.
Oh, actually, this is dollars. So maybe the 450. So it's 118. Oh, it's pretty similar. Yeah, I think the first one goes over 500 euros.
Yeah, I don't know about 5, but I think 450 is a reasonable over under.
Yeah, agreed.
Did someone say earlier today? I think maybe Scosmo said earlier today, and Mbappe Super went for 1.6 today.
Yes, Franksy sold it.
Sold it?
Yeah. He missed out.
I wonder if he felt bad because the Shamrock guy wasn't that the guy that got taken advantage of by that.
Oh, scammer? Maybe you're right. Yep.
Maybe Pranksy felt bad, and
you're right. Although I thought he lost to Vinny.
Well, he did, but like, well, no, I guess one of the auctions went for 2.2, so that's like recent auction 3 weeks ago went for 2.2, so 1.6 is probably in the ballpark. Yeah. I don't know. The market's weird right now, though, because like Scott's not saying that's the state of the market, but like I've seen a lot of stuff be really reasonable in the market, and like a card like that's an old season card, but it's a super rare, shouldn't drop this much. Like, unless I mean, it could be the state of the market. I don't have an opinion on that, I guess.
Yeah. There was a question here. Oh, I like this one from Bader the Deer. Would you play classic with elite cards or in season with average cards?
I would rather play classic with elite cards personally, because I think like you can win some good cards that can be valuable for you. And I just think it's better and more fun. Like there's still going to be elite level cards of the high end guys that are out there day one. Like I think as much as we're saying classic's or in season's going to be easier, which it will be in theory, there's still going to be like 15 Mbappe's day one. Like, in season that are like in season Mbappe cards, because I think you can get pretty high up there in terms of what people are going to be able to buy day one.
I think the way I was thinking of it is that it's much easier to get average in season cards from your elite classic ones than elite classic ones from your average in season ones.
Yeah, I think you're more likely to get average in season from the elite classics. Like, I think you can really do okay in classic, especially like the essences were actually stronger than I think both of us expected after the Copa and Euros, right? Like, they're giving 20 essence in these boxes, some of the boxes. Like, the essence was higher. Like, I didn't look. Do you have the box numbers available? Also,
I don't for champion.
Also, like, another like caveat to all of this is they did make in season better with the box distributions and how the box are. Like, in season is now way more appealing than what it was 2 weeks ago.
Yes. Yeah, completely. Like, I think if you're starting from scratch, in season is significantly more attractive.
Yeah. And I think you can offset some of your early season stuff with the expensive prices with like how stuff is to certain extents. So Dan, with all champions cards dropping together, do you think mid-range teams may be affordable? Surely not every single card can pump. I think you'd be surprised at the like limited and rare level. I think people will pump lower ends of stuff. So like, I definitely think it's possible.
The thing that gets me about champion is there are really no hidden teams. Like, everybody who reads like here's like an undervalued or overlooked Prem team, and it's like, you're not the only one reading this article.
Yeah.
And so I think like for the Prem, there literally are no, because for all 20 teams, you're just gonna be like, well, nobody's buying these cards, so I'll do it. And you're not the only one with this idea.
Yeah, I think that every card is going to go for a decent clip is kind of what my thoughts are on it. I think you're better off. Like, I think you're better off to spend like $4,000 on elite level cards than spending like $2,000 on like meh cards. I understand that obviously that's teams spend more money, but like, there's times to spend more money and then there's times not to spend more money. And I think a situation where like you just get like the elite level cards for like double the price is just going to be a way better return than getting mediocrity for half the price. Yeah. By like a lot. Like, I think it's going to be significant.
Agent Cooper said, if Sorare minted the 1 of 100s first, they would get so much more money than selling the 2 of 100 first. I don't get the logic, especially for goalies like Emi Martinez, who's 1 of 100, is also a jerseyman. Yeah. I actually completely disagree.
I also completely disagree. I think that they're basically creating 2 1 of 100s.
Yes.
So they're getting double the juice. They're getting all the people that are there to play the game and want those first early season cards, and then they're getting all those people that are into collecting that. So literally they're hitting like both groups of people.
Yeah. The way I described it to somebody, which wasn't that clear when I said it out loud, but I'm going to say it again anyway. The price difference between what they could get the 1 of 100 for now versus what they will sell it for in September is much smaller than than the difference between the 2 of 100 and like the 38 of 100 that they sell in September. Like,
yeah, no, I agree with that 100%.
So much higher. Sean, we have had this conversation.
Wait, Laird, we gotta go back. We never answered the question. How much is Rodri and Rare going to go for?
You're right. Sorry. Rodri Rare. I think it goes for. I was going to say $2,000, but I'm not sure that's like high enough yet.
No, I think it's too low. I think I would set the number at like 3 to 4.
4 seems like a lot.
It does, but I also am not sure that it's a lot.
It's a lot. I'll tell you that. It's okay. You don't have to be sure. That's a lot of money.
But I'm saying, like, I think it should probably be like $3,000, $3,500, based on where prices are and based on like sort of what happened with Challenger.
Do you think that there is a possibility, though, that the price doesn't run up because people who are in the market for a Rodri can just use an old season one?
Maybe not as much in the Prem because there's just not as much of there's not as many of the Prem cards as there are of other cards in different areas. I don't know, because like I'm looking at like Challenger and like I looked at like Hans Vonneken, and Vonneken like doubled. Like his price like doubled from like new season fresh off to like last season. Doubled to tripled. It was like somewhere in like the 2 to 3x range. So,
and that's like one of the most minted cards on the platform.
Well, that's one of the that's the literal probably one of the top 5 most minted cards on the entire platform. And like, yeah, his rares, so like his rares went from, let me pull it up. His rares, his first auction this year went for 285. And then like, so Pranksy came in after that and paid 321. And like the same days, his old season rares were going for like 120. And it's gone up since. Like it got up to like 375.
Yeah, so that's, I wonder if that was right before the deadline.
Well, so here's the thing. Yeah. Here's the thing that's different. And so Saint Schlogder brought this up, and can you go to his results, SAINT?
Oh.
Yeah, and I'll show you. SAINT, it's combined. It's yep. Go to his results for this week. Let me pull up his DMs with me. I'm sure he won't mind me talking about this. I mean, it makes a lot of sense. So he spent $700 for those rares.
Wow.
This week. But like, sorry, it says getting 4, or I think he spent 700 euros, maybe. It's either, whatever, it doesn't matter. Yeah. So he spent $700 for these 4 rares. I mean, but now go to the actual rare competition for the week, and you'll see how many people are even in it. And the numbers are incredibly limited. And then we're gonna go to Pranksy.
Can I do that without
I just go to leaderboards. I go to game week and then leaderboards and then Challenger Rare 1 in season. So like, I mean, look at the scores. The scores are pretty shit. I mean, agree. So like, this is a bit different of a situation than we're going to see elsewhere, but like scroll down. Like, that's it.
30.
Jeez. That's it. Like some of these are not like some of these are with like Lucho Acosta in season, who like literally didn't play. Like a lot of these are not even lineups that are like legit, and some of them are like John from Brazil has in season. Mm-hmm. So like some people were able to like re-navigate around stuff, but like I mean, there's like nothing that's here. So like if you actually, and this so they have the Belgium special coming up too. Yep. This isn't even the Belgian special. So like if you can do something like this and you can get a good result week right away, you pay off a lot of that amount that you had to pay overboard on players because of that 1 week. So like I'll give example like Prem plays, and you went out and you overspent on city guys and they go out and pound 5-0 week 1 and you just pay it off. It's a little bit more tricky in that situation because obviously like it's going to be a lot more expensive. Like I think you were able to pick and choose a little bit more here in this situation than maybe you'll be able to do in the Prem, because there's not really like standout teams per se as much. So it makes it a little bit more tricky. But like, yeah, like you can put up some pretty mediocre scores. Like go to Challenger in season 1 super rare and go to unique. Like Pranksy literally just won. Like you just win. So yeah, go super. Like, oh wow, there's 5 people. Cool. Paid top 4, I'm pretty sure. Okay, go to unique.
It did pay top. Yes, it paid top.
Yeah, so like, all right, go to unique. I'm pretty sure it paid top 4. I could be wrong on unique, but yeah. Oh wow, Bambi won by default because nobody else played. But like, so like, go to Pranksy's gallery though, or go to Pranksy's results. Sorry. So Pranksy got Challenger in season super, so he got $200 there, and he got $800, $600 in Challenger in season Division 1 unique. They're just gifts, like they're just free money. So like, even if you have to overpay a little bit to get some of these cards, like okay, like you make it back. Like he literally finished second to last there, and he literally so he got $200 there. He finished second to last. And then he got what did he get here? I don't know what he gets in this one, but he got $200 there, gets $150 here. Again, probably finished like close to last. Like there's just ways to like at the beginning of the season, there's just not going to be very many options. Like he literally like look at this lineup and he's getting $600 for that. Now, I'm not saying go out and buy a shitload of uniques, but if you have to overpay a little bit, like you can make it up a lot. Like I'm pretty sure Bambi probably got double $600. So he probably got 12. So you go out and buy 3 uniques and you are like, all right, I can probably get a little bit of a discount off of these uniques because I'm just going to get the money back. So like, I'm assuming Bambi probably paid like 2 ETH for those uniques. Maybe, no, he probably paid like 3. So he paid like 3 for those uniques. Well, like you got $1,200 back for free in 1 week. So like I don't know, like 6. And like at the rare level, like we just saw the rare level. Like I'm pretty sure that rare competition. How many did that rare competition pay? So there was 30 lineups in that rare competition. And if anyone complains about this, also there should be no complaining that like they're giving away. They're giving this away because like they should give it away. Like these people are literally just like overpaying for these cards. Like you want them to overpay for the cards. So like that's not a problem at all. What can you click on? How many rewards do they give? Do you know?
I don't.
I'm trying to figure out if I can sort it out, but I don't think I can because I don't think I had an in-season line because I didn't buy any cards.
What was it? Challenger in season?
Challenger in season, but it was a different week. So Challenger in season.
Yeah, I didn't.
D1. But I think, Waz just said in chat, they paid 25. So they literally paid 25 people. Now, they obviously wasn't great. Like, you're not going to make a lot, but, like, you get $20 back for putting up I don't know, go down to 25th. What did 25th put up? 222 points?
2 DMPs.
Like, 2 DMPs?
Like, 1 DMP, excuse me. DMP captain.
Now, the issue with this is obviously every single week after this is a way worse per chance.
Yeah, it just gets harder.
The cards get returns back. So like you really need to, if you are going to overpay day 1, you really need to produce week 1. Like you have a lot of pressure on you to produce week 1. If you don't produce week 1, it's going to be not great.
And do you think that pushes champ cards actually higher?
I mean, I don't see why champ cards wouldn't be higher. And especially like week 1 of champion, at least one of the Bundesliga doesn't play.
Right.
Week 1 of champion. So like all of a sudden that's down, but like, you always have the individual competitions everywhere anyways in the Prem. So like the Prem's going to have the in-season competitions. Like my guess is week 1 in the in-season Prem, there's going to be like 4 people eligible to play. There's probably going to be like 4 lines because the Challenger was a bit different. So I think it was Nanzo. Nanzo was able to play in-season Challenger this past weekend with only 1 new Belgium card because he had random guys from Brazil playing. That doesn't happen in the Prem. Like everyone in the Prem, like you have to buy the new cards in the Prem on the auctions or you cannot enter the competition.
Yeah, I know there were some people who like Thiago Silva was like a popular one.
Okay, so Nanzo disagrees with me. He says the returns don't justify the outlay. It's purely gambling. it doesn't necessarily have to be purely gambling on certain things. If you know there's only going to be 30 entrants and the overall prize pool is $10,000, you know that on average your equity is like $335. So like if you pay an amount, like let's say you overpay by $250, well, it might not be that big of a deal because you're effectively getting $330 in ROI and return that weekend because of that in expected value. So like I'm not saying it's not gambling though. Like if you brick off week one, like it's really, really detrimental if you go with that sort of strategy.
I just noticed that this lineup of Nanzo's here had 3 DNPs in it, and he won $300.
Yeah, so like, but he had the ability to do this because this literally, I guess it makes sense because like Buxa didn't play, but he has an in-season card that will go away
when Turkey 11 days before Turkey starts up.
Yeah, so like probably this weekend, and then the Charlotte guy literally couldn't score because they didn't have a game, but he was able to do it. So it was honestly a smart move. He basically bought a 0. How much did you pay for Bolingoli, Nanzo? Because like I think Nanzo probably figured out that there would be like at most 3 lines, but he thought Buxa would play, so like he thought he would have a pretty good shot to like put up like 200 or 250, 300 points. They were rewards. So he won Bolingoli.
Oh, so
like he just won Bolingoli probably that week. Like he won Bolingoli that weekend, and then was able to just flop in that line, free $300. Like that's not bad. But like people like this are supposed to be getting them. So Scosmo asked a question. I do think this has merit to it as well. Will Champion be different considering we have like 3 weeks of auctions before the first? So plenty of time to shift more auctions and more entries. I don't think it lasts that long.
I think it's only 2 weeks, 2.5.
Yeah, but I think
2 days, right?
I think they shut it down early also though, because like for example, Contender, it ends tomorrow. Like
what do you mean it ends?
It says there's 1 day left on Sorare. Yeah, so KB said it's 2 weeks. There's only 2 weeks where the auctions happen. Okay, High Low says it continues. So maybe the part that ends is like the event where you could get a 5% chance at another card.
Right. Yeah, the auctions will still go.
Okay, so the auctions will still go. You just don't have that.
Yeah.
So I think that the champ is going to be worse because in general with champ, like part of what's happening right now with Challenger that's different is like MLS is not playing Challenger competitions. So like this weekend, it was purely Belgium. That was it.
Denmark.
Oh, sorry. Denmark and Brazil. Sorry. Like those 4 teams or whatever. But it was mostly just Belgium. Whereas in champ, when the Prem plays, like the Prem's going to play.
Yep. So the announcement came out today that they expectedly have all the Prem, all the Bundesliga, all of La Liga. They have 12 of 20 Serie A teams and 12 of, it's only 18 in Ligue 1 this year?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. So 12 of 18 in Ligue 1. Does the lack of any teams matter to you?
No.
Like Juve, no Inter.
Who gives a shit about Juve? Who gives a shit about Roma? I mean, Inter has some players. And what we're going to sit here and pile in and want Dusan Vlahovic again? Like, is that going to happen? Like, no. I think at this point, everyone realizes that our stance on Vlahovic was pretty. Like, who on Juve even? Oh, Juve is different though. I guess.
Yeah, they're good now. They're going to be good this year.
They could be not horrendous anymore. So, like, I don't know. Like, yeah, like you'd rather have them. It seemed very clear that you're not going to get them though.
Yeah.
Based on what they said about the French league, and they did not say that about the Italian league. So I think you can feel pretty good you're not getting this. I don't think it matters that much. Though. I don't think you're not missing key players. Like you're not missing Mbappe like we did when PSG was like lapsed.
Right.
Again.
Right.
So,
right.
Like, yeah, in theory, you're not missing a key players. Like you're obviously missing some, but you're not missing like these super alphas.
We also, Mike, there was nothing in the announcement about bundles, which a lot of the Serie A clubs have been doing. I wouldn't necessarily say that means they're not doing it.
Yeah,
but
I agree with that.
We'll find out on Wednesday.
Yep. Aru says you're missing historic clubs which matter to us Europeans. I mean, yeah, sure, but like their cards still exist. If you want them, you can go buy them. It's not that we don't care. It's that like I'm not sitting there and looking at Juve and being like, oh my God, Dusan Vlahovic is there. I want that card so bad. I cannot wait to get a Dusan Vlahovic. It's like, all right, I don't care. If they're not like in the past, those teams do not really put up scores that are of massive interest to you from a game perspective. So like when we're saying we don't care, it's like they're not impactful of the game as much as other clubs. Like if Bayern was not there, you'd be like, oh shit, I really want those Bayern cards, or I really want those Man City cards. It's not like the same for those Italian teams.
Yep. Carol said, by the way, current standings for in-season teams, champion 82, which I think it's 84, unless, oh no, it's 82, excuse me. I counted Bundesliga as 20. So there are 82 champion teams and 72 challenger, including MLS. I thought champion was supposed to be easier because there are fewer clubs.
Who knows, Laird?
Yeah, I don't know.
Yep.
Skazma said there's some massive players in those teams, Sean. Lautaro, and then it goes on, and then Turam.
Yeah, that was a point of that. No, I mean, like, yeah, there's some cards that are okay. Again, those cards exist. If you wanted Lautaro, you can go buy Lautaro. Like, it's not like he doesn't exist on the platform. It's not like there. It's like how the Prem was before the Prem came on, and you like literally could not get a Holland before they were there. Like, if I want to,
come on, bad example. They had Dortmund, Holland.
Oh yeah, whatever. Yeah, you're right. Bad example.
I'm curious who the best player in the world is that we don't have cards for.
None. Actually, one, Hamas. That's it.
He's not that good anymore, though. But yeah, that is.
Did you see that poll that I posted on Twitter? Harry was ridiculous.
No.
All right, I'll ask you the question.
This is a poor answer. This is a so rare answer.
That is a so rare answer. But I mean, to be fair, I don't think there's any non-so rare answers. I don't think there's any best players in the world that aren't on the platform at this point, from a non-so rare perspective.
Yeah.
So, anyways, at the Copa, who was the most important and best player at the Copa America, Laird?
Are you going to try to say it was James?
No, I mean, it was James, but.
Oh, all right.
But anyways, fucking Harry's over here telling me it's Fede Valverde. I'm like, Fede, who gives a shit about Fede for Uruguay? I'm like, get the fuck out of here. I'm like, James literally is the entire heart and soul of the Colombian team, and he like dictates everything for Colombia, and he was really good.
It's really funny to me how good he is for Colombia.
Unreal.
And then he puts on club shirt on, and you're just like, who's the? Then he becomes James.
Yeah, Harry's like, no, it's Fede Valverde. I'm like, no one gives a shit about Fede Valverde in the Copa America. Like,
yeah,
who gives a shit?
Yeah, that's a good shout on James being the best player that we don't have.
I mean, no, like literally though, like there is no like, I don't think there's any good players that we don't have anymore.
Right.
Colonel Dickweed asked, wasn't it in the Colombia versus Uruguay you were asking about? Yes, I believe it was just those two teams. Yeah, so it was actually also we had some people fired up, Laird. So I could only put 3 answers in the poll, or like in the poll results. I could only do 3, I think. So I had there's Harry. He's coming in. He knows he was wrong, but you could only put 3 options in the poll, I think. So it was like we were gonna put up James, Fede, Darwin, and then anyone else. But I think we could only put up 3. So I'm basically, or no, who's the 4th? Who was Harry? There was 3 people. Who was the other person? So anyways, we're sitting there and we could only have.
Cruz was great for a while.
Yeah, but it was just like purely in like that tournament. There was like, I think there was 4. I forget who it was. But anyways, it's like, well, we got to leave someone out. And Harry's just like, just leave out Darwin. He sucks anyways. Harry said Mike. Who's Mike?
Luis Diaz.
Oh, Luis Diaz. There we go. Luis Diaz. That was the other one. So yeah. So we wanted to put up 5. We wanted to put up Luis Diaz. We wanted to put up Fede, James, Darwin, and then anyone else. And we couldn't because we had to. It's like, all right, we got to cut someone. And Harry's just like, just cut Darwin because he sucks ass. I'm like, true. And then we had some people like, "Where's Darwin? Why is Darwin not in here?" I'm like, Harry said he sucks ass. I had to get rid of him.
Agent Cooper said, according to Transfer Market, the most valuable player we don't have is Bremer.
That makes sense. Yeah, and like I don't think anyone gives a shit about actually getting Bremer.
Right.
Like no one cares. Everyone that you like really would care about is achievable at this point.
So I'm gonna go back.
Apparently, Arouge loves these shitbags.
No, Arouge must be a Juve fan.
Must be a Juve fan because Arouge loves these guys.
So you made this point the other day, not on stream here, but I'll bring it up here. You believe there is a decent chance that Cole Palmer's new card, which appears to be a forward card, could be the best card on the platform.
Yeah, I think that's valid.
So if it's Palmer and Rodri, who's next?
Who's third?
Yeah.
Well, I don't know if Rodri's 2.
Oh, okay.
I mean, I would rather probably have an Mbappe than a Rodri.
Would you rather, somebody asked this, would you rather the Palmer super rare or Mbappe super rare?
Forward?
Yeah.
Palmer.
Okay. Somebody was asking about Saka. I think Saka's still listed as a midfield. Yeah, he is.
He is. He shouldn't be, but that would be a good card. But it's not. It's not in the same level as the rest. If you gave me one forward, if you gave me one super rare on the platform, I could just pick the super rare, but I had to keep it forever. So like price didn't matter as much. It would probably be Palmer right now. Palmer forward. Sorry, Palmer forward. Like that card's really good in theory.
Yeah.
Match Slow asked about Kai if he is a midfielder still. I think, yeah, he is still listed as a midfielder.
Is he? I didn't even look.
So where Andre says, in his opinion, Palmer will not have as good of a season like the last one. I don't disagree with that. I don't know if last season is completely attainable again, but like I also don't think it's not. Like I don't think he did tons that is not replicable from last year. Like he's gonna maintain all sets. He's gonna maintain all PKs. I don't see anything changing. I think their team actually becomes better. Like sort out his bench appearances. Like if you just do starts, like I mean,
is the 72 average good with 3 100s and 6 90s?
Being 21, like I don't know. I think that it's Nepenthes is here. Hello, Nepenthes. The Cole Palmer card is a forward, just really appealing card.
Do you think Nkunku back helps or hurts him?
That's to be determined. If Nkunku takes sets, it hurts him a lot. If Nkunku doesn't take sets, it should help him because it's just an improved lineup, I think.
I suppose there's an outcome where they both take sets and it kind of just takes away from both of them.
Yeah, like if he comes in and he doesn't have sets or like gives up half, like if he gives up half the sets, it takes away. But like, so all right, so last year he had 29 starts for Chelsea in the last year and had 33 decisive actions. Do I think that's sustainable? Maybe not. But you knock off 20%, that's still really, really good as a forward. Like, it's still really a standout.
I mean, who's even in his class?
I mean, not many.
I mean, we previously talked about like Son and Anthony Gordon, and I don't think they're necessarily in the exact same group.
In the Prem, no one's in this class. In the Prem, he's by himself.
I just meant before he became a forward. We were saying the forward class is basically Son.
Yeah.
Then a few steps down, Anthony Gordon, and then a few steps down, everyone, Dwight McNeil, and then everybody else.
If we talk about like full blown comps overall, Mbappe versus Cole Palmer is still like really tight. Like Mbappe's really good. Like in his historical PSG stats in 154 starts, he was a 69 average player with like 2100s. And like a good chunk of that.
Throwing out a lot of names that have no right to be in this conversation.
Oh yeah, like I mean, none of these like Palmer's and Mbappe are both like clear of everyone else by quite a bit. I think
It's not even close.
Foden having a forward card would be interesting. Dude,
I don't think
Mateta can't even score in the Olympics. Mateta can't even buy a goal versus teams that he's like 10 that they're just 10x better than. Yeah, Foden as a forward card would be really an interesting card as well. But I don't think he gets a forward card.
He doesn't look like it.
Like I don't think he would get one, no. But like if he got a forward card, that's pretty comparable to Palmer.
What does he look like from a
Rouge asked, do we gamble on Rashford? He's had the summer off, which should help him. I don't think Rashford has the ability to really be up anywhere near the upper level guys. I think he can be pretty solid. If you funnel out starts, he's probably like a 70. I guess he's like 69.5. Yeah.
That's pretty good.
I mean,
this card doesn't exist anyway, so
that's like that's very like much what a Palmer forward would be. Like it's a really good card. So like I mean, Foden had a forward card to be very much similar. But again, like he's older. I'm not calling him Phil Foden old, but like there's a couple years on him from Palmer that and Palmer also is playing on a much worse team that like he has a bit more ability to move up.
They're an attacking team. Like they don't care if they win or not. This Rashford, I can't believe we even brought his name up in this conversation.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think that Rashford would be anywhere near any of these guys. You know who's probably pretty relevant, but I mean, he's not going to score as well as these guys is Yamal. Yamal's been obviously really good recently, but the issue is I just don't think he has the consistent upside is what these other guys have had yet. But like again, he's so young, he could definitely grow into it at 17. Like if he starts taking all the sets, which I think
I was gonna say when he gets sets, yeah.
That's the difference. That's like typically the difference between pushing someone. That's what makes Mbappe more impressive is because he typically doesn't take sets at all. So like if you're not taking any sets and you're putting that up, it's really impressive. Whereas these other guys are all taking at least some set share.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's one of those that like I don't think people fully appreciate like how much of a difference it makes.
Yeah. Mike Baston brings up Mason Greenwood. I am intrigued by what he could do for them, for Marseille in starts. But up until now, like Mason Greenwood has cracked 80 two times in 80 starts. Like that's not someone who's in line with any of these other guys. KB brings up
I have no interest in even considering him.
Yeah, he brings up Musiala. I don't think Musiala puts up a good enough stat line as a forward consistently enough yet. Yeah, like so if he's just forward, he's a 63 player. Again, great player, but like that's not cutting the same levels as what Foden or Gordon would cut.
I think the other thing that gets people, so like there was a mention about Olise at Bayern. Obviously, Musiala is at Bayern. Johanneton Kane is very, very good. Like in order for all of them to be as great as you think that they need to be, it literally will be a record-setting year for Bayern Munich. Like I think there's just not enough to go around. And so not all of them can be the best.
Well, yeah, to an extent. I mean, Musiala would need to just add decisive. Like the issue, like some of these other guys, when we're looking at them, right, like the decisive rates were a lot higher. Musiala's decisive rate is like 22 and 33 starts. Like these other guys are like 1.2 to 1. He's like 0.8 to 1. Like his just decisive rate's just not in line with them.
Yep.
So like there's not many people that are like in the ballpark. The only other person who I think in the ballpark that we didn't mention is Kavicha if he goes to PSG. If Kavicha goes to PSG and just becomes Mbappe, but with every set, that's a card that could move up there with those other guys.
He gets all sets if he goes there?
No, I'm saying if he did.
Yeah.
I'm saying if he did, that's like potential person that could be in play. But like, yeah, there's just, I mean, this list is very, very small.
Mm-hmm. Like
it just doesn't really exist. Like it aren't that many people that are even relevant in this situation, no matter what. There's like 5 guys. Mike Bass asked.
Last year's cards were forwards.
Yeah. I have his first forward super rare for that reason.
A couple Jadon Sancho shouts.
Yeah, I think he's good. I don't think he's that good.
Agreed.
I don't think he could put up those type of numbers. Like, let's see what he put up at Dortmund and starts. So at Dortmund and starts, Sancho was a 65 player. He was in the ballpark. Not quite there, but he was in the ballpark. Actually, if you removed the last like 4 months of his Dortmund stay, before that he was in the ballpark.
He was
The last like that
the
tail,
first time he was there.
which is weird because like you would have thought he wouldn't have gotten worse at his time at Dortmund, right? But he did. Like
I mean, he was a January transfer after not playing for 8 months because he didn't play at United. So like
that's true. That's fair. Okay, that's fair. Because that's right. The tail on this is all like after he went back.
Right.
That's fair. Good.
Few shouts for Salah, which is funny because he's not remotely close. I do love this from Agent Cooper. Dwight McNeil on sets at Real Madrid would be up there.
Probably. Yep. I would buy that.
I'm in on that. Yeah, let's do that.
Yeah, I buy that.
Have you given up on Griezmann?
I think Griezmann is fine. I don't think Griezmann's in these levels. That team's just Atletico Madrid's just too big of a loser fest to be there.
Agreed.
But I think he's good. So, but like, yeah. So, anyways, back to the in season on these cards. Like, I think that. What do you think the average jump is going to be from an in season card to a classic season card at the beginning?
3x.
You think 3x? So, like in Challenger, like what did we find was the consistent difference in Challenger? Was it like 2 to 3?
I didn't even look.
So like today, Luke de Jong was 0.138, and yesterday his old sold for 0.65. But that's today, or 0.065. So his first auction,
basically double 2x for Luke de Jong rares.
Yeah, so like 2x. Luke de Jong was like 2x. Vaughn can range from like 2 to 3. So based on what we saw for Challenger, which is similar-ish. But so here's the thing. Here's the question. Here's a question I have for you, Laird. Will the impact of the Prem and Champ Europe, so this is the impact we've talked about before. In Challenger, you can use MLS in-season cards in Challenger for the in-season portion of Challenger for the time being. Does that create a much higher impact in Champion Europe and cause the gap to be wider? Or do you think that's not really going to be noticeable?
I think the gap is wider because people care more about Champion. And I think it's as simple as that. That there are people who only want to play Champion, and so they just have to pay for what the cards are. And if there are plenty of people like that, like I actually don't think that, like I think the Challenger price differences can give us like the floor difference for Champion.
That's reasonable. So in that situation, you think the floor for Champ is 2x. And then from there, it's probably going to be like 3 to 3.5.
I think we could see some 4 on the elite guys, just because it's like early on you have to have them.
Yeah, but you just told me 2K was high on Rodri, but then you're telling me you could go like 3.5x, which is like 5K.
You're right. You walked me right into it. Like the tough one is like Cole Palmer's last card sold for just under 600, but we know that this new card is so much better.
Well, do we? Someone said also, like, is he actually going to have a forward card?
I think the picture that they shared showed him.
Well, it did, but like, I mean, do you believe that? Because like, it's the same thing as like them auctioning off guys on teams that like they're not actually on that team anymore, and like what actually ends up on the card is what it is. I mean, to be fair, he is listed as a forward on Sorare data today.
I don't see a situation where they make a graphic with his card and it's wrong.
I don't know. They're pretty bad with stuff sometimes. You don't think?
I don't. Like they would have no reason to like be like, oh wait, let's make this one a forward.
I'm not arguing with you, but like, I don't know.
Yes, yeah, maybe the wrapper says forward, but the card says midfielder. That's the concern.
That's the concern, is that the condom wrapper says forward, then you open it up and you get the mid.
I don't think that's the case.
I mean, imagine how pissed off you would be in that scenario.
It would be like absolutely like unequivocally the worst thing that they've done.
I don't know about that. They've done some terrible stuff.
I don't think it would be much worse than them saying, hey, we have this pre-sale card. This is what you bought. And then you open it and it's different.
That would be pretty funny though. Well, because like what happened if hypothetically, Laird, let's get hypothetical here. They start auctioning Palmer and then Opta moves him back to a midfielder.
Then I think the ones that are sold are forwards. And then
But the card hasn't been minted yet. So how could it be a forward?
Because it'll match the pack. Excuse me.
But you just told me that they're not going to match the pack because if players transfer, they're going to show their new club.
The position will match. That's what I'm saying.
Okay. You're trusting a lot in the team right now.
I am. You're right.
Which is, I don't know if that's necessarily. Also, yeah, there's another question. Is Kimmich going to get a defender card?
I mean, we can see if he's listed as one.
He is not.
Oh.
So do you think that he just will not be changed this year and will just be a midfielder all year? Despite like he hasn't played a game in the midfield in like 8 months.
Yeah, I don't think so. 8 months is also incorrect. I'm looking back now. It was literally February. Yeah, I don't.
Our last midfielder game he had.
Yeah,
6 months, whatever, close enough.
I mean, he hasn't played in 3. Oh, I guess the Euros.
Yeah. He actually had decent AA at the Euros.
Yeah. Agent Cooper said, I wish every winger and attacking midfielder was listed as a forward. It would make the forward choices so much more interesting. I hate owning wingers who are listed as midfielder. Saka is the prime example.
Well, yeah, because
why some forwards are so expensive because they're scarce.
Yeah, but that's like a way to take that away. But also, like the issue is a lot of these guys as midfielders do not compete as well as the other dudes. Saka is one of the few examples of someone who is able to compete with the higher level mids. But like a lot of those guys just like because they're winger mids, like they just can't compete with the other guys.
Magnus was saying the Alessio Castro Montes 2 of 10 card was a defender and the rest are mids.
I believe that. I actually have one of his defender cards. I actually played it this weekend.
I sold my super rare defender card.
Yeah, I definitely have a rare defender card for sure.
Oh, here we go. Why are we doing that? Oh, and the super rare was a mid. How strange. How many? Oh, we got a bunch of limited defenders. What is that? 20? 13?
Yeah, it makes sense.
13.
14.
So I wonder if we'll see a couple Palmer forward cards and then they switch to midfielder.
Hey, what? If you get some Palmer forwards, you get like 5 of them, and that's it. That's a pretty nice card.
Really,
like, it's pretty hard to compete, I think, consistently in the Prem without like a Palmer or Son forward, probably.
How about the way to juice profits is to do all the pre-mint Palmers as midfielders, and then in September when prices start to drop a little bit, you say, "Oh wait, no, let's make a forward card."
Yeah. That makes sense. Palmer defender card would be elite. I don't think it would.
No, I don't think so.
I think it would be probably pretty bad card. Let's see. I mean, I guess it wouldn't be bad. Palmer forward or Palmer defender would be a 68 average card, so it'd be pretty good.
It's like matchable though.
Huh?
Like you can find other defenders.
No, there's not defenders in the Prem that you really get that you're going to expect 68 average from.
I think you would expect more defenders than forwards. Maybe not, though.
Nah, I think it's probably pretty comparable.
Maybe. I don't know. I don't even play the Prem.
Who knows? Yeah, I'm definitely interested to see how much they're going to go for. I also think so what's going to happen? I know this is what's going to happen. You're gonna say like, yep, that's exactly what's going to happen. Day one's going to happen. They're going to launch all these cards. People are going to want the Prem. People are going to want the Bundesliga. They're going to want La Liga. What's going to happen is like Italy and France are going to go pretty overlooked. The issue, I guess, is that there's not really a good team in either of those competitions that are like on the platform. So like you because like PSG doesn't have Mbappe anymore, and like who knows exactly what they're going to be like. So like I was going to say, I think there could be merit to getting those type of cards for like the beginning of the season to play in season, because I think they're going to go pretty overlooked. But I also am not like, I don't know who you'd really buy that is like, oh, okay,
yeah, I'm trying to think of like the best.
Like if the Bundesliga was like the same as those, I'd be like, all right, if I get Bayern guys like and they go overlooked, like that's pretty good. I'll be able to compete pretty well in season at the beginning. But like, I mean, who are you really buying from PSG that's like, oh, this guy's a massive deal breaker without Mbappe being there? Because like, I don't know. Like, I mean, Vitinha, I guess. Like that's
I'm trying to think of who the best players. Hakan's pretty good.
Yeah, but like, you can't get him because Inter's not there.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
Yeah,
so
like
then we have
Vitinha. That one makes sense.
Yeah.
After Vitinha, like I don't know who it's going to be.
This is.
I'll tell you what. By the way, with this rankings page, I don't know if Clement's here. I don't really know if you can do anything with this, but like the way that everything interacts because of the international games just really screws up a lot of the rankings and a lot of the like L15s and a lot of that stuff, because like guys like Palmer just get obliterated because they just sat on the bench for like 3 or 4 games, and it just really sort of screws up this page. I don't know if there's really anything to do, because there's probably not. But anyways, just a thought. Like when we're looking at it, it's like, all right, we're seeing these guys that like were useless internationally, and it doesn't really have an impact on their club situation.
That's just, the that's the skill in using the scouting page, is knowing.
Yeah, knowing who and what you realistically want, which is true.
I still can't find a player
like Trent.
that we want that.
No, that's what I'm saying. Like I think like Calafiori, if he was still not in Arsenal, like he would have been appealing. But like, yeah, No Name was saying like Bremer, like if he was last year, but they're playing a different style, it might not be as appealing.
Calafiori was at Bologna?
I think so.
Yeah.
So like, yeah, I don't really know who you would like buy from those areas per se. That you're like, this guy's a big difference maker. Like
everyone's saying Douglas Luiz, but he's not going to get new cards.
There you go, Pulisic.
Yeah. I didn't actually look at the. Do we get new? Oh yeah. Don't worry, guys. We'll get new Junito cards. Yeah, it's not many.
Tekker's just tweeted or just messaged me this. We were talking about Sorare's like lack of ability to like execute on stuff, and like so he doesn't have a U23 goalie for this this like upcoming game week. Do you want to know what Sorare recommended him buy?
Like the midweek?
Yeah. He's like on the page where like he doesn't have a goalie, so it like shows you who to scout to buy. Who do you think the recommended goalie is for him to buy for U23 rare?
I hope it's a U23 player.
It sure ain't. It's not a U40 player, Laird.
Oh wow.
I don't think so.
I just pulled it up. Remco. That's great.
That's it. Yep. Rug P got it. If you guys need a goalie for U23 rare this week, I mean, Remco Pasveer is definitely the guy that is the recommended purchase price for you. Restus, there you go. You finally got one like 9 down who's actually U23.
Yeah.
Like
Sirwa, who won't play, maybe.
That's ridiculous. Also funny.
Huh.
Like that seems like a mistake.
It seems poor if you actually went and bought that and then you were like, wait, I bought this on the U23 screen.
Yep, seems not great. Mike Basson said, do we finally get Tavernier at Montpellier? Did he actually go to Montpellier? Did he not go to whatever Turkish team he was going to.
Trabzonspor?
Yeah. Did he not go to Trabzonspor?
I have no idea.
I literally cannot keep up with all the stuff. I just wait till like something official comes over, because like someone said earlier today, like we need to get a Fabrizio Romano, like someone signed her. Dude, I thought, I'll give you the example. I thought Marco Reus was done and he signed with the Galaxy 2 months ago. I had no idea it was not complete. And I'm like, Fabrizio has tweeted this like 18 times. Oh, Quinny was talking about Teje Savigny, not Tavernier. It would make sense, Quinny. He wasn't talking about some guy from the Scottish League. Am I right? Those Rangers guys, those guys. We don't want those guys.
Montpellier are on the list.
Quinny, how many new in-season Celtic guys do you have? I go to Quinny's gallery and see how many new in-seasons. I'm like fully expecting to go here, and Quinny has like 50. Let's see. 1, 2, only 2, Quinny. What is up with that? Which 2 Celtic guys do you think he has, Laird?
Kyogo?
Nope.
And I don't know who else he would have.
His 2 rares that he just bought are Nicholas Kuhn and Anthony Ralston.
Oh, yeah. I'm not sure I knew those players existed in life.
Those are the Celtic guys that Quinny just purchased at the rare level. He did purchase a rare Ross the Boss Laidlaw, which I'm a fan of, because that probably means he's the starter for them, and I have his unique. So go me. Quinny wants to win them. Quinny, what is the fun in winning them when you can just buy them and then win them?
You should see the video when he won Kyogo.
I did see the video when he won Kyogo. Like literally, that is, you need to buy them and then win them. Arouge asked the question: if you buy a Jork Harris, do you then sell if he moves to champ, or would you wait it out to see how it turns out? So I think there's like, at this point, you probably just like, if you're buying a card like that, I think you're just rolling the dice with where he goes, right? If you buy a Jork Harris card right now, you're just like, you're buying it with the intent that he's probably going somewhere. So I think you keep it. I think it's a bit different if it's like someone else that you had, like, so like I had Pavlidis, and like if Pavlidis, like if I won Pavlidis and then Pavlidis all of a sudden goes to Burnley, it's like, all right, well maybe I just deal with it because he went to Burnley or something, and I just keep it. Because like there is merit, I think, at this point. Not as much, but like, especially if I have a Super Urban card and like they transfer to, let's say, Everton, that's maybe worth it to me if I have like a locked-in starter who can score 10 goals in the Prem. Like that might have some value to me. So I definitely think it depends, and the situation changes based on how it all plays out. But it's a bit tricky.
Just a quick side on that: Burnley not in champion.
Yeah, I know that, but I just use Burnley as the example all the time. That's why I changed it to Everton there.
Gotcha.
Yeah, so Rouge asked because rumors are back again. If you have him, there's no way you're going to avoid rumors. I think if you don't want to deal with him in champ, you should sell him before he goes to champ. I think once he goes to champ, like it goes sort of to the discussion we had earlier in the day about Saudi rumor and stuff. Like once he actually goes to champ, his price likely gets priced like he's in champ. So if you want to sell him because you don't like what you likely will end up with him in champ, which totally valid, that makes a lot of sense, then I would recommend selling him now instead of later.
Yeah.
Here's the question.
If Bierman goes to champ, you sell.
I mean, Bierman has a chance to be good in champ, but like he's nowhere near what he is currently. Like he basically like has to have that same exact role, and it's just like I just don't think he's good enough. I think we've seen enough at Bierman at this point to be pretty confident he's not good enough.
Agreed.
Like I think, like, for example, Mats Wiefer, I think could be pretty good in champ and be pretty relevant. Like we've just seen Veerman struggle anytime he plays like difficult competition. Like I think Veerman would move and then get benched because he just like can't compete and they just aren't enough. So NH asked this question. I'm wondering who will play U23 with Bellingham and Vinny. What do you think people are going to do with like Jude and Vinny type players? Do you think they're going to play them in U23, or do you think they're going to play them in Champ
or La Liga?
Or La Liga? Yeah. Like, what do you think they're going to do with those cards?
I don't think.
So I'll give the example. I have Jude Super. I don't know where I'm going to play him, like week in, week out, because I don't have a strong La Liga situation at the Super level. Like, I think it's pretty bad. I'll get back to you on that once transfers are done and once I actually see like where I'm at. But I think it's actually pretty bad. I think there's a potential where like I use him in U23 occasionally, but I don't know. I'm really not sure what the right decision is with that.
I think from an ROI perspective, I think you might be better off playing in La Liga.
But I think my card, like, I don't think I can compete in La Liga with him. Like, once La Liga starts, I'm gonna go look. I'll let you know what my best La Liga Super Rare lineup is. Rare, different, but like, all right. So first weekend,
you play the Super Rare in Rare, Sean.
Yeah, I'm definitely not doing that. Definitely not doing that, Laird. All right, so let's see. My best La Liga lineup. I do have a goalie, miraculously, by like accident. All right, so
yeah. I think, but I'm just like not from your, because like you're handcuffed by what else you have.
Yeah.
At the Super Rare level, like, do you have a rare Jude?
No.
I think if you had a rare Jude, you'd play it in La Liga.
I to be fair, I probably need to buy a rare Jude because then I have Vinny and Mbappe. So like I probably need a rare Jude anyways.
Yeah. I just think they'll be better off in La Liga than in Champion.
Someone said earlier, and I just noticed this too, like La Liga's fractured at the beginning.
Yeah.
I don't know why, but La Liga's fractured.
The first two games are in the midweek.
Yeah, I don't understand that. Because that definitely takes away a little. I'm just trying to see like what my best lineup is. Like, yeah, I just don't have a good enough, like, I don't know. Like, I don't even know. Like, I have no defender. Like, Daily Blin's my best defender, I guess. I don't know. It's pretty terrible.
Sounds like you need to be spending some more money, Sean.
I do. Like, for me to compete in La Liga, I would need to spend more money. But, like, I don't really know what I'm going to do. Quinny's telling me to look at his La Liga Super. All right, so before I look at Quinny's La Liga Super, how many Celtic guys are in this lineup that moved from, like,
no,
at some point?
Quinny's a Girona boy.
Okay, so Quinny has a Chillison, which I also have. That's my only goalie. They must be fractured this week. Okay, Girona doesn't play week 1, so Vitaly asks, is it imaginable that you play only at rare level for some of those, Sean? I think I'm not going to play like my super rares. I'm not going to use a super rare Jude in La Liga. Like, I'm not going to do that. Like, maybe once
in rare in La Liga.
Rare. Yeah, I'm not going to do that. Maybe like every so often I'll do that. But I'm not going to frequently do that. So it's just a matter of like me getting these other guys at the rare level. Like me getting a rare Jude makes a lot of sense, and I will probably look into getting a rare Jude. That, to be fair, like there's a couple cards I knew I probably would need going into the season. A rare Jude is one, a rare Rodrigo is another, and then we'll see where I'm going to go. Raul says deposit more money, Sean. Same as you tell everyone. Yeah, I totally agree. That spend more money is the answer. It's always the answer to the questions we have.
It's too bad you didn't get one of those 50% deposit bonuses.
I know. I need one of those 50% deposit bonuses that like just bone everyone else. Yeah. What did you think about that drama, Laird?
I'm glad it's over.
I guess it is over because everyone was content about it. Poor Bellama. It was Bellama versus the world again. He was like, "No, it's fine." I'm like, "No, it's not." I was like, "Oh, Bellama." I was like, "It's." To be fair, like just to be clear on this, I think the idea behind it was fantastic and made a lot of sense. I think the actual execution of it was done very, very poorly.
Yeah. NH brought this up, which is funny because I feel like I talk about this all the time. But yeah, why not buy like 2 Judes or another Vinny?
So we have talked about this on the show before. The The actual best way to play So Rare, the best ROI perspective way to play So Rare is have 6 of guys and run the best lineup. That is the actual best way to do it, because there's a clear week in, week out what you think would be the best lineup every week. The optimal way of doing it is run that exact lineup 6 times or 12 times, depending on how it goes. Obviously, that's not as manageable due to funds. People don't want that. Also, it's not as manageable because people want to spread out their variance. So, like, by running different lineups and by doing things slightly differently, you typically are spreading out your variance, because, like, maybe the lineups are very, very minimally different. So, like, you're not really giving up much equity, but you are spreading out the variance in case Vinny gets a late scratch or Mbappe gets a late scratch or something like random happens. Then instead of all 6 of your lineups being dead, maybe only 2 of them are dead. So yeah, I have 2 Mbappes. I thought it was a pretty, I won one at the end of last season at some point. I forget exactly when, but I was looking at it and I was like, I think it makes a lot more sense for me to keep this card and have 2 Mbappes, because I think having 2 Mbappes is a pretty good thing to have. So there's definitely a lot of merit in having 2, 3 of a card for those reasons.
Vita said the problem of having 6 is that 5 of them won't have collection bonuses, even though it's irrelevant in Super and above. No, you could also just buy, for some players, multiple seasons, multiple collections.
Oh, that's true. That's true. You could buy different. Yeah, you could buy multiple collections, multiple. I just don't care about the collections enough. That's just not something I care enough about.
Is this Price's volcano? What does that mean?
Erupting.
Oh.
They're erupting, Laird.
Erupting. You kids and your slang. Anyway. Yeah. Anyway. So yeah, go get some Judes. Oh, Vita is right though. If you're playing in season, you can't have 6.
That's not true.
Collections.
That's not true. You can play at least 1 old season card in every single competition.
Oh, yeah. But you can't have 6 new season collections, is what he meant.
No, we're just talking about 1 player.
Yes. But if you bought 6, I mean, you also need 6 different collections of that player to be available. I think the real answer, Vita, is you buy the super rare and you play it in rare. And then you can
could do that. Yeah, you could do that. That is valid, Laird.
Yep.
You could buy the unique, Laird.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yep. Absolutely. If anyone's looking for other ways to light money on fire, I'm happy to help. Anyway. Yeah. You got anything else, Sean?
Nope.
All right. Cool. Thank you to everybody for coming. If you could please like, subscribe, all that good stuff. Shout out to Quinny and his Girona collection and Super Rare. I still don't know if there will be a show tomorrow because, as I told Sean, I got jury duty.
Oh, yeah. Exciting.
Yeah. Helping out Prison FC. Anyway, thank you everybody for coming. If you have any questions, feel free to leave a comment in the video below. You can find me on Twitter at Andrew M. Laird. Sean is at psufans2. And yeah, good luck with all those champ auctions this week. We'll see you in there.